Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and what I want to do here with this video is actually discuss Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered a little bit further. There's a number of things I want to address here in this video, mainly what they're going to be doing with this game. Now, if you guys don't know, I did a video earlier on today. It was actually super early in the morning when I recorded that video. I hadn't even slept yet, and it actually featured a leaked poster of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which also talked about Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and showed the prices and whatnot and all that stuff. And here's the poster right here. I didn't show it in the original video because I wasn't sure if I was allowed to. It seemed like something that might get you copyrighted from Activision, but it turns out not. It turns out it's a-okay for some reason because everybody's putting it in their videos, so I figure I can put mine in there. If everyone else is going to be jumping off a bridge, I guess I'll jump off with them. But this is the poster right here, and of course you see a lot of information here. Apparently that's in Canadian dollars, which is something I messed up in the original video because apparently there's only one line in the dollar sign as compared to two here in America. You know, if it's one, it's Canadian apparently. I don't know, guys. I don't know how that all works, but I want to address a lot of things mainly because of this, right? You look at this here, it says Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered is only going to have 10 maps in the multiplayer, and I want to discuss what it means for the game itself, what they are potentially going to be changing about the COD 4 Remastered version as compared to kind of what we expected. So hopefully you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. First things first, I feel as though they're going to prune this game. I feel as though they are going to be changing a lot of aspects of the game, and I think they're going to be tweaking it to make it so it's a little bit more friendly, while at the same time making it so it's easier for them to develop alongside Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. My hope was that they had an entirely separate studio, like one of those off studios like Raven Software or another studio like that perhaps worked on Call of Duty Online. My hope was that they had them working on the game while they finished up Infinite Warfare, but it appears that perhaps Infinity Ward maybe did all of this all together and then they maybe just kind of remastered Call of Duty 4 as a bit of a side project. I wonder if as a result of that, if they're going to actually change anything about the game. Obviously, we only have 10 multiplayer maps. The game, including DLC, featured 20 multiplayer maps. They literally, right down the middle, they cut the total number of multiplayer maps featured in the game in half, and that's what we have right there in that advertisement. I wonder what else they're going to be doing with the weapons. Are they going to be stripping down the weapons, the perks? What else are they going to be doing, right? Are they going to make it so we have a limited number of weapons? Because there was a number of weapons in this game that were underused, and maybe fans didn't use so much. So would they see it easier for them, since this is just like a side project remake that they're doing to add on to a Legacy Edition? Is it possible that the weapons like the Scorpion or the Uzi or the G3, try to think of some really underused ones, like the Dragunov, the M249 SAW, the M14, the MP44 for sure was super underused because it kicked like a mule. Would they be getting rid of weapons like that and only featuring the good ones? The M16s, the MP5s, the P90s, the AK-74Us, the AK-47s, would they only be featuring weapons like that in the game? I don't know. Are they going to be pruning the perks? What if like perks like Eavesdrop, Sonic Boom, and Iron Lungs, like these are perks that nobody ever used really. I mean, some people I'm sure use them, but for the most part they went underused. A lot of people use Stopping Power or Juggernaut on every single one of their classes. Are they even going to be featuring those things, or is Stopping Power going to be featured in the game? I don't know. A lot of people have been wondering, and myself included, if they're going to be pruning the game, are they going to be changing the game as well? Because it's a very nature of an old game. There's typically going to be some problems with that old game. I think if we look back at any Call of Duty game ever, we can all say, yeah, that game definitely needs some fixes. This particular weapon was really underpowered. This particular weapon was a little bit overpowered. They should try and rebalance that, or they should try and rebalance this or that. I think we could all say that about every single Call of Duty game ever made, right? Even Black Ops 3. I'm sure there's some opinions that I have, or opinions that you guys have, where you'd be like, yeah, this weapon needs to be nerfed, this weapon needs to be buffed, this equipment needs to be changed somehow, this score streak, this, that, and the other, right? I wonder if they're going to be changing around the weapons. For example, the biggest one in my mind, the M16, right? The M16 in Call of Duty 4 is widely considered to be one of the most overpowered guns in Call of Duty history. If you played COD 4 and you use the M16, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? There's been a lot of burst rifles in Call of Duty history, but all of them pale in comparison to the COD 4 M16. Now, some of them may be better than the COD 4 M16 statistically, but this one was ridiculous, right? It had an incredible one burst range, but what's most important about this, especially when you're looking back at older games, is how the weapon performed within the context of the game that it was featured. If you plop, the COD 4 M16 into Black Ops 3, it would be a great gun, but it wouldn't be like ridiculous or anything like that. Or you put it in Modern Warfare 2, it'd be a great gun, but it wouldn't be ridiculous. But in the context of it being available in Call of Duty 4 on those maps against those guns with those perks, that gun was an absolute monster. So I wonder, are they going to be changing around the M16? There were only 5 SMGs in the game as a whole, right? Can you imagine that in a modern game these days if there was only 5 submachine guns available, but there are only 5 of them available to us in COD 4, and only 3 of them saw wide use. The MP5, the AK-74U, and the P90 were ridiculously popular, whereas the Mini Uzi and the Scorpion, they were weaker, they had more recoil. Well, I guess the Mini Uzi had recoil, the Scorpion didn't, but the Scorpion it was a pea shooter, basically. Would they buff up those weapons to make them more competitive with this remake? I don't know. Shotguns were super weak in Call of Duty 4 by today's standards. The M1014 semi-automatic shotgun and the W1200 pump-action shotgun, they could not hold a candle to anything that we've seen recently in Call of Duty comparatively. Are they going to buff up these shotguns to make them a little bit better, or are they going to leave them the way they were? I mean, a big part of that was the fact that the maps weren't very well laid out for shotguns, and the shotguns themselves were just pretty weak overall, but still, would they buff up the 1014 and the W1200? I don't know. The M40 ACOG, right? The M40A3 sniper rifle, this beautiful thing right here. Would they actually go ahead and change around the ACOG? If you guys will know, it had a bit of a bug. If you use the ACOG scope on this thing, it actually made it so you could get a one-hit kill anywhere on the person's body for some reason. It was ridiculous, right? Everybody used it. It made it so your sniper never got hit markers. Of course, it would occasionally, but for the most part, it made it so your one-hit kill potential was ridiculous. Was this intentional, or is it something they're going to change? What about the perks? Are they going to be changing frag times 3? That's a big one. If you guys have never played the game, this was a perk that was in the first perk category. It gave you 3 frag grenades by default, and it's important to remember that frag grenades in COD 4 could be thrown super far, I'm talking ridiculously far, and had a giant blast radius. It was actually one of the maybe I'm the rose-tinted goggles here, but it's one of the skill factors of COD 4, in my opinion. As somebody who could actually, throw grenades exactly where you wanted them. I can make nades, especially in Search and Destroy. I would catch you on the run from your spawn. I could catch you anywhere. I was really good with frag grenades in that game. I still am to this day. You guys saw my montage. Hopefully, if you guys saw my Black Ops 3 montage, I know where to throw grenades. I'm pretty good at making them land where I want them, and that's as a result of throwing so many of them back in COD 4. But these things were ridiculous, right? They were ridiculously powerful. It was definitely considered to be one of the cheap and newbie perks, frag times 3. I didn't personally like to run it because it felt dirty using them because it was too powerful. I'll be honest, it was too powerful, frag times 3. Are they going to remove that from the game? Are they going to nerf it somehow? What are they going to be doing with that? What about special grenades times 3? This would be the same thing as frag times 3. Again, it's a first perk, but it would allow you to carry 3 stuns or 3 flashes by default. This was used a lot in competitive, especially in Search and Destroy. You throw a stun into a room, see if anybody's there, throw a stun in another room, see if anybody's there. It's just kind of one of the things they did in Search a lot. Is that something they would want to change about the game? Because can you guys imagine how annoying it would be in a game where there's no tac mask if everybody on the other team was running 3 stuns? It could be super, super annoying. What about Last Stand? This is obviously the big one I think a lot of people are playing to. When you die, instead of dying, you just kind of drop to the ground armed with nothing but a pistol, and you have 1 point of health or something like that. I'm not sure the exact amount of health you have, but you die in 1 bullet to anything. It was just super annoying. It was a newbie perk that we fought to have removed from Call of Duty. It took a number of years and even came back as a death streak called Final Stand in later versions of Call of Duty, but eventually we got it out of the game because everybody hated it. It was stupid and annoying, right? But Last Stand was a perk 3 in that game. You could just run it and have it on every single life, basically, which would be annoying, obviously. Martyrdom. This beautiful perk, you crap out a live grenade every time you die. Remember, COD 4 grenades, some of the most powerful in COD history, so super, super annoying. Again, I talked about this earlier, but stopping power in Juggernaut, would they feature either one of these perks in the game? I mean, stopping power made it so essentially your bullets did more damage, and Juggernaut made it so you essentially took less damage, right? And they kind of canceled each other out if you were using it. If you had stopping power shooting a guy with Juggernaut, it would cancel each other out, basically. And they were mandatory perks for the most part if you're playing in the standard playlist, and you basically had to run them. Certain classes would lean themselves towards Juggernaut, like a P90 with Juggernaut was a very popular class back in the day, whereas stopping power was all but mandatory on every single sniper rifle with the exception of the Barrett 50 cal. So, it was one of those things. Are they going to be keeping those in the game, or are they going to be removing them for the sake of just making things easier for the fan base as a whole? What are they going to do with all the game modes, right? We already know that they're going to be removing half of the multiplayer maps. Are they going to be pruning the game modes as well and just taking out the ones that people didn't play a lot? Are they going to feature hardcore mode as a whole? I don't know. What about Headquarters? That's an old school game mode from COD 4 that was great, but it's not in future Call of Duty games. Are they going to be removing that? It was kind of the precursor for Hardpoint. What of Team Tactical? I loved the Team Tactical back in the day. It was a 3v3 competitive playlist, essentially. It'd be 3v3 Search and Destroy, 3v3 Headquarters. I don't think Domination was there, although I could be wrong. It's been a very long time since I played COD 4 Team Tactical, but it was a 3v3 competitive playlist. Are they going to be getting rid of that? What about Old School mode, the Halo equivalent in that game? Are they going to be getting rid of that? Right now, we have a lot more questions questions than we have answers. And the fact that the game only has 10 of the 20 multiplayer maps is definitely a bad sign in my opinion. It says to me that the game might be very stripped down. I'm not entirely sure, guys. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that they just picked 10 of the best multiplayer maps in their minds, and then they featured the rest of the game, right? They have every single weapon, every single perk, every single, I was going to say score streak, but the game only had 3, UAV, airstrike, and attack helicopter. So I don't know what they're going to be doing with this game, guys. I know there's a lot of questions right now, not a lot of answers. I'm hoping that we get some kind of a reveal for this game going forward. And this is my final note here. This is my final piece of advice for Infinity Ward, right? If you're going to do something, please do it right. Don't just put out a COD 4 remaster because you're trying to buy back some fans after the flop of Call of Duty Ghosts and you're trying to convince people to buy a Legacy Edition. Do not use Call of Duty 4, the game that literally launched Call of Duty onto the main stage, made it the game that is today. Call of Duty 4 was just an average game. Picture like a Gears of War or a Halo in popularity by comparison back in the day, right? Back in the day, Halo was the biggest game by comparison, right? It was just the biggest one. Then when COD 4 came out, it overtook Halo. It became the most played game like on Xbox Live. It was just ridiculously popular, and ever since then Call of Duty has been the #1 game every single year, like the best-selling game, with the exception of like maybe 1 year I think when GTA 5 outsold it and Call of Duty was #2. It's been ridiculously popular ever since COD 4. COD 4 was the game that launched essentially the Call of Duty series, and everyone's been waiting for a remake of it. Do not half-ass this remake, Infinity Ward. Please do not half-ass this remake. And that's going to conclude my video. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a rating and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Your thoughts on Call of Duty 4 Remastered. Are they going to be pruning it? Are they going to be changing around some of the weapons? Are they going to be removing some of the weapons? What do you guys think they're going to do with this game? Make your most honest prediction in the comment section below. Once again, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Drop me a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.